I found my husband's secret phone. I'm already pissed. This story was first posted January 24th, 2025. You know what that means. It's hot and it's fresh. I am looking for some advice on whether or not I should confront my husband about a phone I have found in my apartment. Yes. Toxic. So let's start with the backstory. I have been with my husband for 5 years and married for 3 out of those years. Recently, I thought I was going mad because I could hear a phone vibrating, like a notification was being received. I spoke to my husband about it and brought it up when I could hear it, and we were in the same room. He said he couldn't hear anything and that it could be one of the other apartments around us. We do have thin walls. I let the matter drop until a few days ago when I could hear something ringing and vibrating almost non-stop. So I went hunting around for this phone thinking it could possibly be an old phone that had been left on, or it was really another flat. As I was looking, it began ringing and it was coming from my husband's nightstand. Bruh, good hiding spot. Hello. Okay. I opened the drawer and the sound got louder and I reached in and I found a phone. It showed on the screen several missed calls and notifications from various apps. I couldn't unlock it and decided against trying to get into it further. I put it back and tried to give my husband the benefit of the doubt and that there must be a simple explanation for this. I'm assuming the worst, but that could also be because I read a lot of stories on the internet. But I can't think of a reason to have a secret phone unless something is not right. He doesn't have a work phone, and my husband is in the habit of selling old phones, so I don't think it's that. What would you do in this situation? Also, is there anything I could do to find out what is on this phone? I want to talk with him about it, but I am scared of his reaction and what might happen after. I am also using a friend's account to get some opinions as my husband loves Reddit. Since posting, I went to try and look for the phone, but it has been moved. See, I would have never put that phone back until I found what was in it. Ain't no way. And that's just me. And that's because I looked through a phone once and found that someone was in fact cheating on me. A little update. I found the phone, I emptied my bin, and it was underneath the bin bag. But its screen is smashed. And I can't even turn it on, and the SIM card is missing. I guess I'm never finding out what's on it. Thank you all for the advice. Well, there goes that. My husband got home from work and I asked about the phone. He said it was a friend's phone that he accidentally broke. When I asked what friend, it took him a minute to answer. It kind of felt like he just made up a name. He's had this phone for months. If it was a friend's, he would have returned it. Yeah. I told him to find a way to show me that I can trust him and that this phone is what he says, or we can get a divorce. He stormed out and I've told him I don't want to talk about this until he is going to be honest. Just another small update. I was thinking about another post, but not enough to put there. I took it to a phone place I know and they are retrieving what's left on it. Husband hasn't been back, but is non-stop calling and texting, rolling eyes emoji. Now we're on the same page. You're picking up what I'm putting down. You're gonna give me, it was a friend's. That's the excuse I used when my friend's parents found alcohol bottles. No lie, in high school. We literally were like, we're just storing it for our friend. Give me a break if you think I'm buying that. All right, the top comments on this post. Let's see what people were asking and what they were answering. Someone commented, I mean, what apps were the notifications from? More importantly, you already gave him the benefit of the doubt when you brought up the noise and he pretended not to know what it could be and suggested that it must be from another apartment. If this phone was no big deal, that was his opportunity to say, oh, that's probably my other phone that I'm using for this purpose. That he didn't means he's hiding it from you poorly for some reason. He doesn't get the benefit of the doubt now. He's being sketchy and he lied to you. Now he needs to explain himself. There is a simple explanation, and that simple explanation is that he's being sketchy with you because he's cheating. If he has a different explanation, he needs to provide it. That's true. That was his opportunity to say, oh, it's my friend's phone. I'm just storing it. Here you go. Yeah, check it out. Just holding it for a friend. No big deal. And if you were just holding it for a friend, you'd probably turn it off. If you've had a phone of a friend's for months and you're just holding it for him, I'm not even believing that. But why is it even on? Like, if you're just holding it for a friend, you're probably turning it off and saving the battery. It would have died. That means you're charging it. You're using it. It's an actively used phone. Anyways, the author wrote back saying Instagram and WhatsApp mostly, but there were so many notifications, the screen didn't show them all. Meh. would have handled this so differently. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're wrong. Someone else commented, do you really want to deal with a gambling addiction? Huh? It's just as bad as cheating in some ways. He's lying and being sneaky. Surely that's enough to consider your relationship. Oh, did someone suggest that it could be a gambling addiction? Maybe. Interesting. Yes, okay. Author wrote, I'm considering my relationship, but I wouldn't leave him if it was an addiction issue. I'd want him to get help and deal with our relationship after. Someone else commented, gambling or sports betting apps would be sending notifications to the phone for sure. I know you said you couldn't see all of them, but considering the two that you did see were Instagram and WhatsApp, I'm going to guess that it's probably some type of cheating or infidelity going on. And in some states, you can't even gamble or do sports bettings. Are you in a state where that's legal? If you're not, then you could cross that off your list. They wrote, I live in England. It's legal to gamble here on apps. I never thought of the gambling thing. That could be a possibility. Another commented, is there a camera in the room and he saw you find the phone? Maybe you need to set up a camera yourself. The author wrote, there's no cameras anywhere. He must know I found it, hence him destroying it. Yeah, he must have realized how it was moved or something, and that's why he smashed it and tried to hide it in the garbage. You're hiding something. We have an update, but grab your beverage of choice, all right? Personally, after hearing this story, I could go for something a little stronger than water, if you know what I'm saying. But we got water, and you should drink your water as well. Cheers. Grow up. The next update is January 26th, 2025. 2 days later. So, carrying on from my last post, once I found the phone, I took it to a place I know to have it searched. It won't be back for a few days. However, more problems have occurred. I have a burp. Excuse me. My husband left our apartment 2 days ago and I have been receiving loads of messages and calls. He has been saying he just needs a chance to explain and that it isn't what it looks like. But how can it be anything else but what it appears to be? I have told him he needs to give me space. He is refusing to accept this and even went so far to go up to my daughter while she was out with her dad. She isn't my husband's child. He tried to get her to tell him what was going on and what I was doing. Oh. That's crossing a boundary. Don't get the kids involved. My daughter's father told me how uncomfortable she felt and that she shouldn't be involved in this issue that we are having, and I assured him she isn't. While I was fuming at my husband, I decided to rage clean, and guess what I found? 2 more phones! What? Whoa. 2 more phones, receipts for jewelry, and a few credit cards I had no idea existed. Oh my God, he's a serial cheater. He's probably living many different lives. My mind is spiraling and that's what I've concluded. He is dating multiple people, probably in full-on relationships and has a different phone number and name for each one. Credit cards, buying them gifts so that you don't ever see it. I've solved the case. I just know it. My husband and I have separate finances, which I prefer, but we regularly updated each other about debts and other payments that we were making. This was mainly due to us wanting to buy a house together at some point. So these lies go deeper than I originally thought. I've spoken to my friends and family and asked if they knew anything about this, but they didn't. I have sent pictures of everything to my husband, demanding an explanation. He said he'll explain if I let him come over so we can do this face to face and that he loves me and wants this to work. I am hesitating. I said I'd meet with him with the condition that someone else was present that I trust. He kicked off and said I was his wife and he should be able to come see me when he wants. Okay, well that's a privilege at this point because you've lied to me as your wife. I said he lost that right when he cheated on me and this man said, yeah, but it was only once. Ring the bell, ding-a-ling. We were correct. Winner, Genya. I have not spoken to him since. Now I need help. How do I proceed from here and keep things amicable? I still love him, but I'm keeping my distance and have no plan to meet with him face to face as I am weak and I know if I see him, I will probably stay with him. I know this may seem strange, but it is my life and there are so many emotions going on for me right now. That's not strange at all. It's a lot easier to walk away than it is to actually do it. I make jokes and I'm like, yeah, peace out. I didn't react that way when I was in that situation. No. Now I would, but I was young and naive. Edit. This has been bugging me because I got a nasty comment saying I need to stop dating men as I have 2 failed marriages and I'm hurting my daughter. So point 1, you know nothing about me, and if you did, you would know my husband is my first marriage, and believe me, I wouldn't have married him if I thought he was a threat to my daughter. Point 2, my daughter's dad and I never dated. We had a one-night stand when we were younger and we had our daughter. Always co-parented. I didn't want to be in a relationship while I had a young child to look after. He has always been understanding and a great dad to her. Sorry for the rant. I've been getting a lot of messages about how I am not a good mother and I need to stop with the men, so thought I would say my bit. Now, we do not have the next update yet, but she has been responding to some comments. So let's get a little more info. Someone commented, is your husband tracking down her daughter and how was he able to go up to her? Oh yeah, like how did he know where your daughter and your ex, not really, daughter's father was that day, that he just like found them and went up to them to approach them? The author said, my daughter doesn't have a phone and she was out with her dad and he just went over and spoke to her. My husband and ex haven't had any problems until now. I live in a small village. If you walk down the main street, you're more likely to find who you're looking for. I have a restraining order for my husband against my daughter. Oh, damn. Okay, this is serious. Someone else commented, also, protect yourself every way you can. Get cameras at your house, change the locks if you can legally. Be prepared to go to the police if he continues to harass you / your daughter. No matter what, do not meet this man alone. If you want to meet him and have him explain, then do it somewhere public. Take someone with you and let others know you are meeting him. The author wrote, I've already changed the locks and I am working on a get out plan. Oh gosh. Someone else commented, good, stay strong and get that trash out of your life. I might just let the police know what's going on too in case you need to file a restraining order unless that has already been done. Good luck. And that is where she reinstates, I have a restraining order for my husband against my daughter. But maybe you could get one against you if you're genuinely concerned for your safety. Someone else commented, luckily you found out now before you bought a house with him. Take him for all he's worth and then buy a house of your own if you have enough. She wrote, I'm glad I kept my inheritance separate to his finances. Monkey face emoji. Wow, I really wish there was an update. But the person actually deleted their account, like the original, the friend's account that it was posted on, which is kind of concerning now that I read the story. There's no update after January 26th if she's okay or not. Maybe she went back to him and was like too embarrassed to admit that and was like, I better just stop updating the internet on my life. Oh God, I hope she's okay. Let me know your thoughts on this one. I'll see you down in the comments. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy.